is Sky Sports 2.
Anaheim, California, it's Arrowhead Pond. The 2004 United States Men's Olympic Gymnastics Trials. We're in day 2. Matt Rosen and Peter Corman along with you. And Peter, a very exciting few days of the Olympic trials. Paul Hamm, the defending United States world champion.
Doing one of its best events, too, Matt. This is high bar. This is a great way to start the meet. Watch this routine. It's absolutely packed with difficulty. Paul's one of the best in the world on high bar, and he is also the world's all-around champion. Okay, now watch this combination of skills. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Wow. And sometimes he even does 4, so he cut back a little bit. Double twisting, double layout. Tiny step, great way to start. Paul Hamm is a history maker, Matt. He's a world's all-around champion, the only ever for the United States. So if our team's going to do good in Athens, this guy's going to be leading them.
Paul Hamm, and obviously an obvious favorite for an Olympic medal. Up next for the United States, Blaine Wilson, coming up on the pommel horse. Paul Hamm receiving a score of 9.850 on the high bar. So great start for Paul Hamm.
Yeah, and this is a big event for Blaine, too. This is not his best event, and he's looking for the consistency here. Blaine, an amazing story, Matt, tore the short head of his bicep in February, only a couple months ago. I think almost everyone thought Blaine would not be in this meet, and here he is. He's one tough cookie.
Tore a bicep 4 months ago. Look at that.
Good job, Blaine. You know, that's not Blaine's best event, but it's amazing he's in this meet. It really is. He had major surgery, had to have his bicep tendon stapled back onto his arm. And, you know, normally that can take 6, 7, even 8 or more months. And here Blaine is not only back, but he's competing in the final Olympic trials 4 months later. It's amazing.
Great story. Blaine Wilson, a 2-time Olympic gymnast, trying to get to his 3rd Olympics.
And there's men's program director Ron Gallimore. He's in charge of USA Gymnastics. His father actually played football for the Chicago Cubs, Willie Gallimore.
Played football for the Cubs or played baseball?
I played football for the Bears. I'm sorry.
Bears.
Yeah, you can tell I'm a gymnastics guy. This is Blaine on one pommel. Very difficult balance. This is Blaine where he's not having too much balance trouble.
Score of 9.2 for Blaine Wilson. Up next, Sean Townsend.
And Sean's coach, Kevin Majika, is the head Olympic gymnastics coach in 2004 in Athens. And watch this vault. This is one of the hardest in the world. Sean is just learning this vault to do it all the time, but check it out. 3 flips and a twist. Ooh. Didn't quite get that all in there, but that's 3 somersaults with a half twist. 10-0 start, very risky, very tough to do. You see a score 9-2, so they really killed him. But you know what? If we're going to win an Olympic gold medal, we're going to need some difficulty like this. Here comes good push. There's 1 flip. There's 2. There's 3 with the half. And you can see just not enough rotation.
Morgan Hamm, the twin brother of world champion Paul Hamm.
And Morgan on high bar, very improved event for Morgan. And Morgan has chosen to only do 4 apparatus in this meet. So he's depending on getting selected to the team. And this is one of the events they're going to need Morgan on. Very good one-arm twisting. Yeah, that's tough. Here's his release skill, laid out to Kachev. Really good. Full and a half twist. This is a good routine, nice and solid. Not super hard like his brothers, but very respectable. Same disc spot as Paul, and even a better landing. So wow.
Stuck the landing, did Morgan Hamm. waiting to receive his scores.
Yeah, Paul and Morgan were on the Sydney team. They were kind of babies then, but in Athens, if we're going to do well, it's going to be these guys leading the way.
And Peter, you were the coach on the 1996 and 2000 team. You selected Morgan Hamm to be a member of your team.
Yeah, he was in Sydney and Paul too, and that was the first time the world had seen those guys. This is 4 years later. 4 years in a gymnastics career is a long time, so they're ready. They're going to be ready in Athens. In Sydney, they were just getting their feet wet.
They were kids back then.
They were babies. Yep. I call them the babies on the team.
Morgan Hamm on the high bar, 9.675. And now it's Brett McClure's turn to shine on the vault.
Brett might be our most improved gymnast in the United States. He's really done well this last year. Wow, that is an awesome vault. There's a lot of stuff going on there. That's 2 somersaults and 2 twists with a blind landing. That's the type of vault in Sydney will do very, very well. That'll get a great score.
Didn't stick the landing, had a little shakiness there, but pulled through it.
Yeah, he took a step, but that's such a hard landing. He still gets a deduction, but when you see, and there's his score, 9.65. So great score for a great vault. And that's the type of stuff we're going to need in Athens.
And here is Raj Babsar.
Raj has just finished his career at Ohio State. And he has been a great gymnast. This is his dream come true, to be ready for the Olympic trials. He's going to have to be picked, though. There's only 2 spots from this meet that are guaranteed on the team, and then a committee of 5 people choose the remaining 4 positions. And Raj is good on pommel horse. This is a great routine. Nice balance on one pommel. Good rhythm.
Nice finish.
Yeah.
Very pumped is Raj.
Yeah, Raj got a lot of team spirit, so he gets himself fired up, and he does much better because of that. He's what we call, Matt, in gymnastics, a gamer. He needs those big meets.
Raj very smooth on the pommel horse. Kept a good rhythm going.
Yeah, good form too. Nice stretch. That's what judges are looking for. Good extension. And a very dynamic dismount.
Raj just made that look easy. Score of a 9.575. Is he happy with a score like that?
Yeah, that's a great score on horse. You know, horse is one of those events, it's kind of like in women's gymnastics. You want to get done with balance beam because it can be a little shaky in a trials atmosphere. Same with pommel horse. It's easy to make a mistake if you're nervous.
Now we're starting the second rotation with Blaine Wilson on the rings.
And this is pressure time for Blaine. This is the event that tore his bicep. This is the event that he really needs in Athens. The committee needs Blaine Wilson on rings, and this is his chance to show them that he's ready.
Showing good strength right away.
Yeah, this always was Blaine's best event. Even in '96, 2 Olympics ago, Blaine made the Olympic finals on rings. But he's struggling right here. He didn't hold that long enough. You know, and don't forget, Matt, a lot of pressure on your bicep in an event like this. And Blaine's, it's amazing he's in this meet, but he's clearly not 100% strength-wise yet.
Stuck the landing. Nice performance by Blaine Wilson.
Yeah, a little bit short on his holds of difficulty. And, you know, that's because of the surgery. And time back, it's just not that easy to take a lot of time off from a sport like gymnastics and get back into it right away.
And for a guy like Blaine Wilson, he's not 100% right now, and you wonder 3 weeks before the Olympics, before you have to decide who's on your team, is he on the bubble right now? Do you think he's a shoo-in? Or do you think
it's tough. This is going to be a tough one. See, there's his score, 9.15, but you know, that's because of his difficulty in not holding the skills. But that same 915 come Athens could be a 965. Give Blaine another 6 weeks, and he'll be significantly more ready than he is right now.
And up next, Sean Townsend on the parallel bars.
And we saw Sean not make his vault. This is a good event for Sean. 2 years ago, he was the actual world's champion on this event, Matt. He won the world championship on the parallel bars. But since then, Sean has struggled a little bit. He is not a lock for this team. He's got to earn it. Okay, not bad. Little knee bend. Great peach to a handstand. Solid set so far. A couple little tiny errors. Looking for a stick.
Shaky landing.
Yeah, opened up a little early and had to take those steps to recover balance. But overall for Sean, a good routine. Not his best, but a good solid routine.
So not a terrific start for Sean Townsend. It's a 9.575 on the parallel bars.
And that's a good score. This is an important meet for Sean. You know, he's not going to be in the top 2 at the end of this competition. But what he's got to do is show the selection committee that he can go out and contribute. But here's a guy, Brett McClure, the surprise. He could be in the top 2. He's really doing a good job. Nice. 2 peach halves. Perfect. Beautiful. It's called a bell. It's a double back between the bars.
So smooth, it's almost like he's walking on air.
Yeah, Brett's a beautiful gymnast. He's always been very artistic. Boned that landing, too. That was great. That was a really good routine. Best I've ever seen him do.
And now it's Raj Babzar on the rings in 9th place after the first rotation.
And I think for Raj, what you're going to see in a second, this is what he needs to have happen. This is his best event, and this is really one of the weaker events for the United States, the ring. So if they're going to pick a guy like Raj, it's going to be because of ring. So check this routine out. He's really explosive.
Look at the strength in his arms.
Nice.
Very smooth, almost with just ease.
Yeah, and all those strength moves that he connects, that raises the difficulty of the routine, and it really makes judges give him a good score. Got a big dismount, too.
Wow.
That was great. Look at him. He's so...
Raj knows he nailed it.
Yeah, he also knows that if he competes in Athens this summer, he's definitely going to be doing that event. So a big part of his Olympic trials was to show that committee that routine, and he couldn't have done it any better. This is a skill named after him, actually. That's the end of it, the Bob Shaw, and back into back lever cross.
Just so easy for Raj. Wow, 9.825. Raj Babzar having probably one of his best days of his life thus far.
Yeah, and certainly that routine, I mean, it's you see that and you just kind of say, if you're on the selection committee, we got to have that, so...
And like you said earlier, Peter, they need help on the rings.
Yeah, we do. We're a little bit weak there. And this is Jason Gatson from the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs on the parallel bars. And this, I believe, is Jason's best event when he hits. Capable of an Olympic medal. Really unique routine. A lot of creativity. A lot of delicate turns like that have to finish in a handstand. tiny hop on the dismount, but overall, very, very, very good routine.
Looked pretty good there. Got a nice round of applause from the crowd.
Yeah, Jason has had a long road. Boy, he blew out his knee a few years ago, missed making the team in Sydney.
And as you see, Jason Gatson a 9.725.
Yeah, that's going to help. That's a great event for him.
And Morgan Hamm on the pommel horse.
Pommel horse, probably the hardest event to do in the Olympic trials, because if you're a little nervous, you lose your balance. Before you know it, you've fallen off.
What are the judges looking for on the pommel horse?
They're looking for extension. They're looking for fluidity. They're looking for perfect form, legs together, toes pointed. And they're looking for difficulty, which they're definitely seeing in this routine. This is great so far. And pommel horse should be like a song. It should have the same rhythm the whole way from start to finish. If you see a break in rhythm, you know he's struggling. That routine, that's a great example. That was a beautiful thing to watch. All the same pace, all the same fluidity. He's going to get a good score.
So Morgan Hamm receiving a 9.625. He's got to be happy with a score like that.
Yeah, great score on horse.
And now on the high bar, Sean Townsend.
And Sean is a little firecracker on high bar. Nice Kovacs right over the bar. This is a good event for Sean if he hits. He has in the past had trouble with, consistency, just as I said that.
Almost lost it, held on.
Now the big thing in here is try to put your finger in the dike and minimize your losses, which he did a good job of that, because that was a bad break. I mean, he's going to get a huge deduction for that, but he could have easily fallen off.
I can't believe he stayed on.
Yeah, I know. He was his finger barely got on the bar. It's like, good thing he let his fingernails grow.
Here's the almost fall.
Watch, his hand missed the bar. No bad grip, just did not have enough swing to take it over the top. And so, Sean did a good job to keep it together after that.
Sean Townsend with a 9.425 on the high bar.
And that's a very good score. I mean, those judges could have definitely whacked him a little harder.
And now it's Brett McClure's turn on the high bar.
Brett is beautiful on high bar. He's very tall, he's long, he has perfect execution. And that is a mistake, a bad one. Ooh. He was doing a full turn to what we call an L grip, and he did not get his hand on the bar, swaying back the wrong way, and just fell off.
Automatic deductions for falling off.
0.5 of a point, half a point, big one. In gymnastics, that's huge. That's just like dropping the ball in football. I mean, he came off.
And that's gotta hurt because he's at the top of the list right now.
Yeah, Brett is the easiest way, not the easiest, but the most solid way to make the Olympics tonight here is to be in the top 2. That's guaranteed. He's right on the cusp of doing that, so that fall could have meant the difference. But you know what? He's done good since then. He's stayed on. He's finished his routine, got all his difficulty. Nice dismount. So as bad as that was, Matt, it could have been a lot worse. He could have just let it fall apart.
So Brett McClure falls off, gets back on. And as he awaits for his score, he's got to be a little just very disappointed with that. Score comes in 8.75.
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, it's a fall, and he lost the difficulty associated with the skill too. So you got to pick it up. And this is Paul Hamm on pommel horse. Really good event for Paul. good difficulty, good extension.
Paul Hamm, the world champion United States gymnast.
Yeah, Paul actually won the all-around. First time ever for an American male to be all-around world champion, and he did it in this building in Anaheim last year at the World Championship. So this is a special place for Paul.
Paul Hamm, excellent job on the pommel horse. Hoping to become the first United States men's gymnast to win an all-around gold medal. Do you think it's in his realm that he could do this?
You know, it's so hard. It's so hard to be the all-around champion at the Olympics. But the defending world champion, which Paul Hamm is, you got to look at him and say he's a favorite. I mean, he beat everyone a year ago. But there's so many good Chinese, Japanese, the Soviet gymnasts, a lot of people out there. But Paul's got a chance at it, and that would be really something.
Paul Hamm, a 9.8 on the pommel horse. Here's Raj.
Wow, that was awesome. Really hard vault, hard to land. He's so happy because, you know, that, believe me, that's tough to stick that vault.
Raj quickly becoming a crowd favorite. He's so excited, very animated.
Yeah, he's a little man on a big mission.
He's got his dream.
This is 2 somersaults and 2 twists. So hard to put that landing in because you don't see the ground. It just comes up so fast.
Raj with a 9.6 on the vault, so he is just having a terrific day.
Yeah, and it's kind of what you dream of. You dream of, you know, it's kind of like in golf. You dream of making that big putt to win the Masters. In gymnastics, you dream of having your best day at the Olympic trials.
Couldn't ask for a better time than to come up huge. Right now, you're looking at Jason Gatson on the high bar.
You know, we saw Jason on parallel bars, was absolutely phenomenal. This is another good event for Jason. This is release moves over the top, very good.
Dismount.
Good. I always get a little nervous. I saw Jason actually blow his knee out on high bar doing that dismount. And every time I watch him do it since then, I get a little nervous. But he's recovered from that. It took him a long time. He did a lot of work. But he's back, and in Athens could be a big part of the story.
Well, the knee held up. He's got a 9.725. Excellent score for Jason Gatson. And now is Blaine Wilson on the vault in 15th place. He had a rough time on the rings.
Yeah, Blaine, you know what? Blaine, in the first round of this, the earlier day, Blaine did a great job. But I think I'm sensing that, you know, 2 days in a row is a lot for a guy who's just coming back from major surgery and some time off.
Ooh.
Yeah, big dismount. Tough vault, though. Blaine had a lot of energy in that, and he's actually training and can do the vault that Sean did earlier with the half twist. But that one just had a little too much rotation.
All right, twist out, next time. Come on.
There he goes. Watch the push off the horse right there. There's 1 flip, there's 2, there's 3, and then try to land it. Just a little too much rotation.
Blaine Wilson with a 9.425 on vault. And as you take a look at the combined all-around standings after 3 rotations, Paul Hamm in first place. As you see, Raj Babzar in 8th. And in 17th place, Jason Gatson. But like we said, it really doesn't matter where you are because you might be just focusing on a few events and you might not be a competitor in all 6.
That's right. And what is important here is if you can be in the top 2, you want to be there. But if you can't, you need to look good for the committee. It's kind of like if you're picking a basketball team, you don't pick all guards or you don't pick all forwards. You need both. Same here. We need good guys on all of the 6 events.
And Sean Townsend now on his floor.
This is a good event for Sean. He's had some problems with consistency in the past, but he's got a lot of difficulty. And this is an event that the committee of people selecting is looking at, and they're saying, you know, this is a spot where we could use some help. They have Paul and they have Morgan if they both make the team, but they could really use one other guy on floor. And it could be Sean. Good routine, solid. Little step on the dismount, but got it all in.
It just amazes me how high they get on those jumps every time.
Yeah, it's floor is an event where it really helps to be a good athlete. You know, some of the other gymnastics events you can kind of get away with being, you know, just well coached. But on floor you need that power, and that's what gets you in the air.
Sean Townsend, a 9.350 on the floor.
Yeah, it was a solid routine. His start score is a little low. His difficulty score is not that high, so.
And world champion Paul Hamm on the rings.
Key event for Paul, in my opinion, if he is going to be the Olympic all-around champion, he needs to get a good score here. He's good on the rings, but he's not great. And hopefully in Athens, he'll get the score. Sometimes that's meaning a good hit, and sometimes it means you have the right people judging you. So we'll see.
You want to hold this for 2 seconds?
Yeah, all the holds. That was a good routine, and it'll be interesting to look at this score because some of those strength parts are a little bit quick and could go either way. Let's see how the judges looked at it this time. That's a great shot. You can see the stretch and the speed through the bottom. You know, Matt, on rings, sometimes your feet can move as fast as 70 miles an hour. Wow. That's how much power you generate through the bottom.
And Paul Hamm with a 9.55.
Good score, great score. I mean, on his worst event, really. So if you were to say to Paul right now, will you take that in Athens, he would say yes.
And there's crowd favorite Raj Babjar, sitting in 8th place right now overall.
Sitting in 8th, but really having the meat of his life. He is a crowd favorite, and I think he's a selection committee favorite at the moment.
Really trying to impress, and he's done a terrific job all day. Wow.
Another hit routine.
Look at Raj.
Yeah, Raj is psyched. This is an event, you know, that he probably won't do in the Olympics in the 3-up-3 count. But he goes out there anyway. It's not his best event, and he just absolutely nails a solid routine. So you got to like that. He's just got it going.
A 9.75 for Raj. And he is just cruising through the day.
Yeah, you know, in every sport, athletes refer to hitting everything as being in the zone, like when you just can't miss a shot. It happens with gymnastics, too. It's something, it's half mental and half physical, but you just get that feeling in you that just says, there's no way I'm going to miss. This building's going to fall down, and I'm still going to hit that routine. And that's where Raj is right now.
He's certainly feeling it today.
Anger.
And now Blaine Wilson, his turn on the parallel bars.
Blaine is on his parallel bars. We saw him on rings. He struggled through that. You saw him on vault. He made his vault with a little step. This is a good event for Blaine, so You know what, though, Matt? I coached Blaine for a lot of years. I know him really well. He's not ready for this meet 100%, but he has no choice. He has to show the committee he's going to be ready. And this is a good way to do it on parallel bars.
Blaine, the two-time Olympian, hoping to make his third trip to the Olympics this summer.
Yep, Blaine was in Atlanta, in Sydney, and hopefully Athens. But Blaine is going to have to get picked. He's not going to be in the top 2 after this event. I think, though, if I'm doing it, I look at him and I go, you know what, give Blaine 6 more weeks. He's going to be way better. So I think he's helping his cause here.
And I think the committee knows that. I think they realize, hey, he's injured. He tore his bicep. He's working his way back. He's not going to be at 100%. And maybe over the next 6 weeks or so, he will get there.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. And, you know, I think Blaine looks good to me. He's not ready. That's all.
You get the point. Good job. Good job. Still gassed. Need about a month.
Good score, and you heard Blaine say see you in a month, hopefully.
He is certainly hoping. And now is Brett McClure in second place after 4 rotations.
Yeah, Brett is doing a great job, and he's holding on to a very important spot. This is a tough event to hit in the Olympic trials. He does a very hard routine.
Very smooth.
Very smooth, very tough, too. All that stuff on one pommel. The balance is really hard, and each time you turn and stay on there, the difficulty goes up. So he's collecting a lot of points. Great. That's about as good as he can do.
Not too shabby. Brett McClure hoping to seal a spot on the Olympic team.
Yeah, and you know, there's nothing nicer than to have to say to yourself, I don't need the committee, I don't need to get picked, I'm just going to make it. And in the format, the way the rules are written, you got to be 1 or 2. So Brett's right there, 9.875. That's not going to hurt.
Definitely not going to hurt his chances to make the team. Up next, Jason Gatson, hoping to get his turn in the Olympics.
And Jason this is not the best event for Jason, so what he needs here is to do a solid routine. You can see his feet coming apart just a little bit on some of those turns.
Jason Gatson, as you saw, is in 17th place, but it really doesn't matter because he didn't compete in floor, and he didn't compete on the vault either.
Yeah, Jason's back is bothering him too, so he's doing only 4 events in this, and he was not at the U.S. Championships at all, so this is his shot. Jason can make the team, though. I'll tell you, the guy's a great gymnast. His back is sore, so he's not doing 2 events, but the events he is doing are what he's going to have to do in Athens. They would need him on rings, they need him on P-bars, and they, you know, could definitely use him on high bar and maybe even horse. 9.625. I think that score's a little high, but, you know, Jason did a good job there.
And as you take a look at the leader, Paul Hamm, coming up on the vault.
Yeah, Paul really looks great. I mean, he looks like a world champion. He's got that, you look in his eyes and you can just say, nobody's going to beat me. And that's the exact look he needs to have in Athens. Tough vault. Yeah, big step on the landing, but a really hard vault to land. So he's you know, there you look at the whole meet so far and you say that's the only mistake he's made, and that wasn't that bad.
Just a little mistake on the landing.
Yeah, watch the height he gets on this. And look at his legs, perfectly together. You could see just a little too much rotation.
So Paul Hamm with a 9.450. And he remains in first place, and now it's Raj Bhavjar. Raj has moved up to 6th place now after his last few performances. He has been unbelievable, drawing in the crowd. They love him.
Yeah, he's on a roll. This is, he's exciting on high bar, and he's always a fan favorite on this event, but he has a low start score. This is not one of his higher scoring events, so it's one that he needs to put in the bank, though, because he's definitely got the big mo going. That was good. Triple back. Little step.
Raj is pumped.
Yeah, Raj is pumped. The only problem, Matt, is that high bar does not have a high start score. So although he hit a good clean routine, when you add the points up, they're not going to be there. So that score is going to be lower than a lot of people think it should be. This is his dismount, though. 1, 2, 3 big flips, and he certainly did that well. The problem, again, is that the rest of the routine just didn't have enough difficulty in it.
Raj's score, an 8.650.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to. He did a good routine, but that's just not an event that Raj will be doing for Team USA at the Olympics. But he's out there and he hit it. You got to give him credit. He's got everyone in his place behind him, and he's having the meet of his life.
Now, can he not do something to make his high bar a little
difficulty
bit
more? He's been working on it, but this is a tough sport, and certain things are hard for it, and Raj just has not been able to learn a lot of those skills. And this is our first look at Steve McCain, a member of our last Olympic team. He had a very good recovery there. He was way off balance, probably should have fallen, but he fought like a real man and stayed on. Steve and Blaine were both on the last Olympic team. They're both 30 years old, so they're the kind of the veterans of this group.
Stephen McCain on the pommel horse.
Steve's doing a good job in this Olympic trials procedure. This is the meet here. The final trials counts for 60% of the gymnast score, and the USA Championships 2 weeks ago was 40%. So you see Steve McCain 9.5. That's a good score because he did have that form break, but you got to throw Steve McCain in the mix and say he's got a chance.
This will bring up Guard Young.
Guard Young, first look at Guard. Wow, absolutely great there. Yep. Guard is a great guy. Guard's father was my roommate in the 76 Olympics, Wayne Young. He was on the Olympic team, and we roomed together at the Olympic Games.
Some good times at those games back in the 70s.
It makes me feel old now, though, seeing one of my roommate's son competing in them. This is Blaine on high bar. Blaine, is his Kovacs. Nice. Blaine is in survival mode here, Matt. He's just trying to get through this meet. Come on, Blaine, just, a couple more skills. You can hear everybody wants him to get through this. Nope, not going to happen. That was tough.
It's not Blaine's day today.
Yeah, this is such a hard sport. It's kind of like when you take time off because you've been hurt and you got to rush to get back, and then you go 2 days in a row, it's really hard. So, you could see Blaine all night. He's just not quite ready. Give him a couple more weeks and he might look totally different.
Dismount.
Okay.
So he battled, he fell down, he got back up. Tough day so far for Blaine.
Yeah, but Blaine's handling it like a man. He's not, some guys would drop out. They just say, this isn't going to happen, but Blaine's not doing that. He's here for the whole thing.
So what happens here?
See his right hand just didn't get his full grip on the bar. There's a little piece of leather on your hands. It's got a dowel in it, a little wooden dowel, and Blaine didn't get that dowel over the bar. So when that doesn't happen, you don't hold on.
And Blaine Wilson with a not-so-good score of 8.425. A little earlier, Guard Young received a 9.6 on his vault. So an excellent score for Guard Young. And this will bring up Morgan Hamm and his vault attempt.
Good event for Morgan. This is one, if Morgan's on the team, he'll be doing this in Athens. We need him on vault. Let's check it out. Good, great little step, but really hard. High start value, tiny little step. So that's a very consistent, very good vault for Team USA.
Morgan Hamm trying to solidify his spot on the United States team. And a 9.7 on the vault. An excellent score.
Excellent score. And, you know, Morgan's looking good. He's only doing 4 events, as we've talked about. There's the standings with Paul at the top. A guy like Morgan's going to have to be picked, but he could be picked right here by the selection committee.
After the rings, you see Raj Babjar drop down to 7. Stephen McCain in 3rd. And here is Raj in 7th place. His floor exercise coming up.
Tough combination. That's good. Connecting those passes is what raises the difficulty value. There it is again. Yeah, 3 in a row. Good solid planche.
Showing the strength.
Yeah, this is really not Raj's absolute best event. I'd put it right in the middle somewhere, but he's doing a good job here. Good job. Couple little mistakes here and there, a little bouncing around in his form. His execution isn't perfect in every spot, but he certainly looks happy with it.
Raj having a terrific day at the trials. Gets the hug from his coach. Very energetic, Raj Babjar, and receives a 9.325.
And I think that's fair, Matt. He had a few little technical problems in that routine. They didn't treat him too hard or too easy, so that's a fair score.
And Jason Gatson, his turn on the rings.
This is a big event for Jason. If Jason makes the team, he'll definitely be doing rings. So he needs to show everyone that he's going to get a big score for the United States on rings, because once again, this is maybe not one of our better events.
And like we said earlier, he's sitting in 17th place, but that really doesn't matter because he's not competing in 2 events. He's sitting out of the floor and the vault. And the rings is his key event, so if he can do well here, shows the judges that this is his event, he's got a good chance to be on this team.
Very good, tough combination. Jason's really improved a lot. He's gotten so much stronger. 4 years ago, he really wasn't that strong. Now he's really strong.
Jason Gatson, strong performance on the rings.
His coach, Vitaly Marinich, was a very famous Ukrainian gymnast himself. And he coaches Jason at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs.
Jason awaiting his score. Gives the thumbs up to the camera. 9.725 for Jason Gatson on the rings.
Yep, did his job. Absolutely.
Not too bad.
Yep, that's what he needed to show that committee. I can get this score. He got it, and now the decision is up to them.
And Paul Hamm about to wrap up his day on the parallel bars. Had a terrific day on every event.
He did.
He is our leader.
Paul really looks good right now. Like he's a few weeks ago at U.S. Nationals, I don't think he looked as good as this. He looks like he's peaking right at the right moment. Little step and a handstand, minor deduction.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Paul looks ready, and he's going to have to be. Team USA has very high expectations, and with every good gymnastics team, there's always going to be one guy out there that can really get the huge score. And for us, it's got to be Paul.
So Paul Hamm's day will come to an end.
Real champion.
He's got to be happy with his day. Finishes with a 9.6 on the parallel bars to wrap up what could be an Olympic gold medalist.
It absolutely could be, and this guy's got a different path. This is Blaine Wilson, our last competitor, finishing on floor exercise. If he's going to make the team, he's got to get picked. It could be right here after this meet, or it could be after a training camp in a couple of weeks.
Blaine Wilson battling back from a torn bicep.
And that was a major break. That's been typical of Blaine's day here, just a little bit off on everything, and once again, not quite enough time to prepare, and coming back from major surgery. You had those two up, and this is a tough thing to ask anyone to do.
I think in him returning so fast from the injury, it shows his dedication that he wants to be on this team.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people want Blaine on the team too. Blaine's heart is as big as a basketball. And you know, a lot of guys would not have gone through this whole meet. They would have just bailed out. But I'm proud of Blaine because he hung in there like a man. And Blaine, hopefully when he gets to Athens, he's going to look back at this trials and he's going to say, that helped me. So not the night he wanted, but you know what? He did everything he could do for where he is right now. 9.25. It almost doesn't matter at this point, Matt. Blaine didn't have the night he wanted.
As you look at the all-around final results, Paul Hamm and Brett McClure guaranteed spots to the 2004 Olympic team. As you see the bubble players, bubble contenders, Raj Babjar possibly going, Morgan Hamm, Jason Gatson. Paul Hamm selected to the 2004 U.S. Olympic team. He's got to be extremely excited to be making his return.
You know he is, and I'll tell you a guy who's maybe more excited is this guy right here, Brett McClure, because he took the number 2 spot. That means nobody's got to pick him, no committee, no discussion. I'm on it. Now what can happen? And here it is, Jason Gatson added to the team. That's a bit of a surprise. His back has been sore, but they put him on the team. They want to go with him. And Morgan too. Wow, we've got 4 of 6 guys already picked.
They were only supposed to guarantee 2 spots. They guaranteed 4 spots. So the twin brothers, Paul and Brett, will be going to the Olympics. Jason Gatson, Brett McClure. Who else will be going? We'll find out very soon. For Peter Corman, I'm Matt Rosen. So long, everyone.